Hey everyone, I'm Scott Stokely, and this is going to be such an exciting video because as we travel, one of the nicest, neatest parts of traveling is getting to eat the local delicacies. Now, I don't just mean eating what the locals eat, which you should do, by the way. If you travel somewhere, don't go to McDonald's. Don't Google Applebee's to see if there's an Applebee's. Eat what the locals eat. Immerse yourself in the culture. But on top of that, almost everywhere you go, there's going to be very specific, fancy, usually expensive, but delicacies for that area. If you're at the Caspian Sea, you have to eat beluga caviar. If you're in Iceland, you have to eat fermented shark meat. Well, I'm in Cincinnati, and I'm about to eat the local delicacy, Skyline chili. And I'm going to show you how the locals eat it. And while I eat it, by the way, if you don't want to watch a video of someone talking while they eat Skyline chili, this is your chance to click away. I won't be offended. I don't want to watch you eat Skyline chili either. But if you stick around while I eat this, I'm going to talk about all of the some of the delicacies we've gotten to try around the world. So first off, Skyline chili. Gotta get the Coney dog, which is ironic because most of the people in Cincinnati don't like New Yorkers, yet the local delicacy sells Coney Island hot dogs. You're gonna get a bag full of grated cheese. You're gonna get fancy high-end oyster crackers. You're gonna get chili. I can't tilt it. Once you spill Skyline chili in your car, it will never not smell like Skyline chili. Is that everything? No, God, the most important part. But you get chili on top of spaghetti. Now, Skyline chili is great. All they sell is spaghetti with chili and onions, spaghetti with chili, onions, and cheese.
It's called a three-way.
It's called a three-way, four-way, five. Everybody wants a three-way, right? Well, you can get a three-way in Skyline for about $14. And or you can get a hot dog. That's it. They don't sell anything else. That's what makes it special. You get these little packets of sauce here. And these packets of sauce are great because who doesn't want a brand new stomach lining? Right? You eat this sauce, it will dissolve your stomach lining, and then your body grows back a brand new fresh stomach lining. Oh, by the way, gut bacteria, everybody says it's so important because a lot of gut bacteria is really good for you. You have to have it to digest food. Well, say goodbye to your gut bacteria because this kills everything. All right, so you take your Skyline chili. I'm going to hold it up high so you can see it, and then we're going to talk about delicacies around the world. Take your bowl of chili. You take your cheese, which is grated, yet it manages to stay in a chunk. I don't know how they do that. You spill cheese all over the car. You'll clean that up later, right? Does it stink?
No, what does this smell?
She thinks, what is the smell? It's the smell of luxury. God, you don't understand class because, by the way, if you think I'm being ironic, you're out of your minds. I never come to Cincinnati and not eat Skyline chili, usually multiple days. Even when I was at my absolute healthiest 2 years ago on the tour, I made exceptions when we were in Cincinnati, right? I always ate Skyline. All right, while I'm eating this, let's talk about some of the delicacies or some of the things we eat. She's over there plugging her nose right now. No, but you have to keep the window closed or else the traffic, they won't be able to hear me talk about Skyline chili. By the way, I'm probably losing half my audience right now. I don't care. All right, so we took off. The first thing we did, we went to Australia. Probably the biggest delicacy there is probably kangaroo, right? It's not really a delicacy. It's like deer. They sell kangaroo jerky, but I mean, when you're in,
it's the thing that's more like a normal. That's not normal for us.
It's not. Yeah, things not normal for us. By the way, it's really great because you go. Oh my God, that does stink. Ooh, you smell it?
Yes, I smell it definitely.
Does it smell bad?
It's kind of burning my eyes.
It's burning your eyes. That's when you know it's good packet sauce. If it burns your eyes when you're not even eating it, just smelling it, that's a good sign. You can feel that stomach lining. I haven't taken a bite yet. I can feel the stomach lining, withering away. No, the thing about kangaroos in Australia, this is interesting, is that like we get to Australia, we're like, I just want to see kangaroos. Kangaroos are so cool. Like I want to see something. I want to see a kangaroo. Like typical Americans, right? We get there and we're like, we want to see kangaroos, and everyone, without exception, their response was, why would you want to see kangaroos? Kangaroos suck. All they do is jump in front of your car and wreck your car. Kangaroo in Australia are deer in Michigan. They're pests, right? They're just varmints, but they're adorable because they hop, so it's worth it. Did you like the way they tasted?
It's very disarming when they like sit up in the field and
look
at you.
Yeah, they sit up like this on the field, and when you drive by, they do this. It is extremely unnerving because they look like people, because animals don't sit up, except for kangaroos.
I did like the way they tasted, actually.
Yeah, they tasted okay, kind of gamey, not bad.
Not as gamey as venison is, but it's nice.
So kangaroo, not bad. We went on from there to New Zealand, and in New Zealand, by the way, this is part of the fun of Skyline Chili. It takes like 10 minutes to get it prepared, ready to eat. And I'm about to talk with my mouth full. Apologies, not apologies. New Zealand, probably the biggest thing wasn't the delicacy, it was just the lamb, right?
Yeah, because lamb is usually expensive, or the more expensive of the red meats.
Yeah, and down there it's the cheapest.
Yeah.
Because there's lamb everywhere, and they don't run in front of your car when you're driving because they put fences around them. What about for our vegan and vegetarian friends out there? Are there any was there any fruits that we were eating? Oh, I got one. The fish. There's the fish outside in the southern waters of southern Australia. The Burgundy.
Oh, barramundi.
Barramundi. That was really good, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's local. You can't really. Have you ever found that in America?
No.
Okay. All right. Now I gotta put the crackers on, but it's too full to eat crackers right now. So, yeah, this is the part. This is bad video. I'm gonna eat while I talk. But any fruits or vegetables? Anything fancy there?
I usually avoid fruit.
Oh my god, it's so good.
So expensive.
Oh my god. This is exactly how like a wine taster must feel with like a $10,000 bottle of wine when they take a sip. They're like, oh my god, you can taste the way the grapes have aged. Even though if you put a blindfold on them and give them a $10 bottle of wine, they actually can't tell the difference. By the way, my mouth is burning from the vinegar. Oh, this is so good. I can feel the what's the line from Star Wars? A million gut bacteria crying out and then silence. So this is basically the Death Star of your gut.
It's like a cleanse, maybe?
It's a cleanse. I'm doing this for health reasons. I'm doing this so you don't have to. Okay, so we go there to Asia. Now this is where it's going to start getting exotic. Australia is England's Texas. And I love Australia, but it's like England's Texas. And then New Zealand's kind of just this weird Tolkien paradise. That it's just like everything there just is perfect. We fly into Singapore. No national dish of Singapore, right? Did we have? Well, here, it was the first place we saw.
It's just the everything availability that's great about
Yeah, well, so the delicacy in Singapore, at least I found, wasn't the food, it was the way they serve it. It's the hawker stands.
Mm-hmm.
You know how they have those parking lots where they have truck with all the different food trucks, and it's great because you have everybody can get something different and sit at the same bench. Well, those are just a thing that are all over. And they're not food trucks, they're permanent, but everybody like rents out a small little kitchen with food from all over the world. Singapore is a melting pot. Singapore, along with Sydney and Toronto, are the most culturally diverse cities on earth. So yeah, everything. You go into you walk down the street, turn into one little like cafeteria area, and there's maybe 50 different nationalities of food there. Not exaggerating. Okay. Worst thing about Singapore, hands down, there's this god-awful stuff called durian. durian. But stop laughing. It's not funny.
I love it.
By the way, it tastes awful.
It probably smells as bad as this chili.
Oh my God! If here, hold on. Put your nose up to your YouTube. Can you or your Facebook? Can you smell that? Yeah, it tastes as bad as it smells. So durian is a fruit. It is.
Show how big.
Okay, so it's like this big. Durian smells so bad. Not an urban legend. Google this. Durian smells so bad. There are hotels in Southeast Asia that have a no durian in your room policy. Rules. In Singapore, for the whole country, I believe, if you eat durian in your room, you will be fined like $1,000.
Yeah, or on the bus.
Yes. So there was a story while we were there of this actress who's like, she's a famous actress, and so she's like, I can do whatever I want. I'm an actress, and she went and had durian in her room, and then the Singapore government tried to fined her $1,000 for it. And she's like, you can't find me. I'm a famous celebrity, and they're like, we don't care. You ate durian. Yeah, it smells disgusting. It smells exactly the way rotting trash smells. So go to a dumpster that didn't get picked up last week and that people deposit their house trash into, and stick your head in that dumpster. That's durian. Doesn't taste too bad. It smells like garbage, but it's a delicacy over there. What else? What about Malaysia?
Malaysia and Thailand probably are the most, like, the fruit is just everywhere. So there's so many different kinds.
There we go.
Star fruit and dragon fruit and rambutans and lychees and
yeah, everything is. My mouth is burning. Yeah, everything over there. Yeah, it's all fresh fruit. On the side of the road, the fresh fruit. I mean, it's kind of like, in a way, a little bit like the Central Valley of California, except like there's no big farms, or very few, I don't think. It's mostly small, personal family farms. So since you have a lot of family farms, you just have tons of people selling their fruit everywhere. You go to a park and someone has a stand, and there's all the fruit that they grew. And yeah, I think the fresh fruit's probably the thing there. Cambodia, we had a delicacy, which wasn't really a delicacy, or kind of, but it was for us. So, by the way, your job is to tell me if I have food in my face.
you do right here.
Okay, thank you. I'm not wearing my glasses, so I can't see anything on the camera. So, in Cambodia, we hired a driver for the day because it costs like $20 to hire a driver for the full day to go tour Angkor and Angkor Wat. And during lunch, he said, where do you want to go eat? And we said, we want to go someplace local. We said, we want to go where you would eat. We don't want to see white people there. By the way, nothing against all my white people friends, but that's not why we're in Cambodia to see you. We want to hang out with Cambodians, right? So he takes us down this dirt road past a bunch of like houses, and my houses are, they're up on stilts. They put this stuff on the stilts because if they don't, cobras get into the house and crawl into the warmest place, which is your bed, and when a cobra bites you, you die. So I mean, we're like in the rainforest, we're in a rainforest. So we get to the end of this dirt road, and there's a house, and the house has 4 tables next to the house. That is a local restaurant. It's just someone's house, but they'll cook for you. By the way, each of the 4 tables, ready for this? Each of the 4 tables has 4 hammocks behind each seat, because the process is you go, you have lunch, you crawl into the hammock and take a nap. And by the way, that you can't use the table when someone's in the hammock right there. I mean, it is part of the process of lunch is your after lunch nap. Like, talk about doing things the right way. So we get there, and no one speaks any English. They'll speak Khmer. And the woman comes out. It has a piece of paper with what's available. Everything's always based on what's available. So she had a list of items she gave to her driver. And then she speaks to the driver, and the driver says, "Oh my God, I got good news for you. About an hour ago, there was a chicken running through the parking lot. There was a chicken running through their yard. You want it?" What do you mean? Well, no, we can butcher it and serve it to you. Would you like the chicken? This is very special. We're like, yes, 100% yes. Because I've never, look, I'm sure I've got some PETA people that are going to get mad at me, but like, I've eaten chicken my whole life. I've never eaten a chicken that was just walking right there. So they prepare the chicken. They cover it in this like honey glaze, and they butcher it up while we're waiting, and they bring out a bunch of plates. Here's the legs, here's the breast, here's the neck, here's the chicken feet, here's the gizzards. Here, every single edible part of the chicken was served to us on different plates, all prepared differently. So basically, we got a table that was a chicken. Pretty amazing, right? Mm-hmm. One other story about Cambodia. Out of the course, on more than one occasion, the kids that live out on this, because the course is in basically people's backyards out at these rice paddies. Every once in a while, if you're out there playing disc golf in Cambodia, the kids that are out there, one of them will yell, "Snake! Snake!" And your first thought is, they saw a snake. And they're trying to warn you, there's a snake, because there's venomous snakes in Cambodia. Right? There's vipers and copperheads, and there's cobras. And no hospital nearby where the course was. Like, you don't want to get bitten by a cobra, for sure. Anyways, they're yelling, "Snake!" You think they're warning you. They're not. "Snake!" They'll yell until their uncle comes running out of the house with a machete. Not to protect you. That's dinner. It's a delicacy. If they see a snake, they yell "snake," their uncle comes out, kills the snake. That's what the family's going to be eating for dinner tonight. They're going to be eating fresh snake. So, yeah, super fancy Cambodia. Indonesia. What was special about Indonesia? The crab, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, pulling crab right out of the water and then sticking it with the hottest chili you ever tasted in your entire life. It felt like I was on an episode of I Dare You to Eat This Thing. Delicious. Extremely painful. God, I can't tell the story of what happens when I eat really spicy Indonesian food.
But you get to wash it down with the fresh coconut. Like, they're cheaper than soda.
Oh yeah, Malaysia, by the way. Nobody brings water to the course. It's Malaysia. It's on the south. It's in Johor, Malaysia. It's in Southeast Asia. It's right in the equator. It's super hot, super humid. You don't need water. Just coconuts. Crack them open, drink the water. You're surrounded by water, fresh water. So that's a delicacy. It's not really a delicacy to them. Japan. What's the raw things? Horse meat, horse liver. Obviously the fish, right? We ate sashimi, yeah, all that. I would say the strangest thing we eat, though, delicacy-wise, raw chicken. But you can't eat raw chicken. Well, no, you can eat raw chicken if you are trained, certified, and licensed by the government to prepare raw chicken. You have sterilized equipment. You go out back, you do the thing you do with the chicken, and then the chicken or the plate goes to the kitchen. They actually sear it for like 5 seconds on each side. So the whole thing's raw, but the outside is just white because they just sear the outside like 5 seconds on each side, and they bring it to you. And it doesn't touch anything except one thing specifically for it, and they bring it to you. But yeah, raw chicken, probably the strangest thing, right?
Well, and it's only strange because we are socialized into that's not what you're supposed to eat, right? So it's harder mentally than it is like it tastes good. It's fine. Just
you gotta get over the fact that you're eating raw chicken. It's very weird. By the way, Skyline chili is so good. Wait till I can't wait to eat this Coney dog, just to show that I'm not being unhealthy. I'm getting my meat, a good fresh cut of hot dog. All right, so then we go to the UK, and let's go ahead and put most of the UK together. They have a lot of extremely fancy local delicacies out there. They have loaves of bread, they have slices of bread, they have pieces of bread, they have rip-off tear bread, they have boiled potatoes, baked potatoes, microwave potatoes, grilled potatoes, potato bread. So yeah, they have I don't know, chips. They call them chips. You know what chips are? They're potatoes, but they're not like French fries. good old American French fries where you eat it and you get the flavor of the salt or the fat or whatever that makes it taste good. They're about this big around, so you're actually eating a potato. Yeah, I don't know if any of you have ever eaten bread or potato. But if you go to the UK, you got to have bread or potato. That's what they're known for.
It's with everything.
That's the only thing. We did go to we went to a Pakistani restaurant or a Bangladesh restaurant.
Went to Pakistani too.
In Pakistani, but in the Bengali restaurant, you eat everything with your hands, including like basically liquid poured over rice. You're grabbing clumps of rice in your hand. That's kind of fun. It's not unique food, just Bengali food. Probably the biggest UK thing that was special to that area has got to be haggis, which is just stuff from the inside of a cow's. It's cow innards, right? Ground up cow innards with like peppers and onions. It's actually pretty good if you don't know what you're eating. If you didn't know what you were eating, it kind of tastes like ground beef with onions. If you know what it's eating,
probably a lot like that Skyline chili.
The problem is, here's the problem: marketing. Whoever came up with the name haggis is an idiot, because haggis is literally the exact sound you make when you're trying to cough up a hairball. Right? Haggis is nasty sounding. Like, would you eat? Okay, if you had never heard the word haggis before, and I said, "Hey, you want some ice cream?" And you're like, "Hell yeah, everyone loves ice cream." And I'm like, "Cool, it's haggis flavored." And you'd never heard the word haggis before, you'd be like, "No." Well, but you don't even know what's in it. I don't care. It's called haggis. There's no way that's good. So haggis ice cream.
But we had haggis fritters.
We had haggis everything.
On a baked potato.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, corned beef and hash, not the national dish of Ireland. We got told flat out by the people there. They're like, "Yeah, none of us eat corned beef and hash." Sure, it's not none. But yeah, so the UK, we love the UK. There's no UK dishes of note. I'm sorry. Someone's gonna write me back and get mad at me. All right, now Scandinavia. No, we weren't in Croatia long enough to get anything local to Croatia or the Czech Republic, did we?
No, you were just there for competition.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat my coney dog while we talk. Oh, this is so good. Who doesn't love a good, healthy coney dog?
The thing about that whole area, Croatia, Czech Republic, Serbia, sound like they have burger meat that they just.
Yeah. Oh, so
that's a lot.
We'll get to the Balkans in a second. But yeah, so here's the thing. So you go to Europe. So right off the bat, if you wind up eating fast food, which we try to avoid, not because we're being snobs about fast food, but because, well, yeah, of course, in the U.S. it's poison. Unlike this is not poison. This is healthy. But it's also just, why would we eat McDonald's when we're in a different country and they have their local food that we want to eat? But the thing is, if you do get stuck eating fast food over in Europe, it's amazing, because they have these things. I'm not even sure if there's an American English translation for the word. Like, how would you say food standards in English? There's not an American word for food standards.
Quality, maybe.
No, they don't even have. I don't think they even have the word food standard. You know what the ingredients are in a McDonald's hamburger in Sweden? Meat and salt. What's that? Meat and salt. Good for you. You go to the U.S. and the burger has I think it has like 4. I don't know. If I get this wrong, I'm wrong. But it's like 40 different ingredients in a McDonald's hamburger, and 7 of them are like poison. So I know it's hot, right? We're almost done here. We can't open the window though. This is too important. So, anyways, I would say the next delicacy we found was in Sweden.
Tube cheese.
They have mastered cheese in a tube. And when I say mastered, I mean they freaking mastered it. You go to a store and there's 60 different flavors of cheese in a tube, and every one of them is delicious. And when I say tube cheese, it's the consistency of toothpaste in a tube that looks like toothpaste. It's toothpaste, except that it's cheese. And it's not all processed garbage. They're not allowed to. You're not allowed to put crappy stuff in food like anywhere else in the world other than the U.S. You can't put poison in food. Actually, I'll even tell you something. This is crazy. In Finland, talking about food, if you put too much sugar in something, for example, you cannot legally sell it in the children's section of the grocery store. So you can't find Fruit Loops in the children's section. They can sell Fruit Loops. Adults eat whatever the hell they want. But you can't market Fruit Loops to kids. Like, who would do that? That seems insane. So yeah, you can't even find, like, when you go, so a lot of the players would do is they would go get their food or their snacks from the kids section, because you know if it's the kids section, it's the healthiest section of the store because it's mandatory. Crazy, right? But tube cheese.
And the pickled fish.
Mm-hmm.
We went to an
Norway.
entire buffet.
Norway, Finland,
Yeah.
we went to a whole buffet of nothing but pickled fish, like probably 12 different types of fish, all pickled. I don't even like pickles. I didn't love it. Did you? You loved it.
I did.
Yeah, I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't my favorite, but I ate it. Then we go down Germany. What was that food that they invented in Germany? There was something that came up that was invented there. I can't remember.
Sausage?
No. Okay, can't remember.
I don't know.
So now we get to the Balkans. The Balkans are, well, the countries we went to are Romania, Serbia, and Bosnia. But there's a few other countries that would be considered the Balkans also. And I would say, and forgive me if you're from one of these countries because you'll totally disagree, but I found the food similar. Like it was a regional food. And two things about the food in the Balkans. Number one, it all tastes like it tastes like cigarette smoke. Because you're allowed to smoke in restaurants in that part of the world, and everybody smokes. And
Yeah, so you can't go outside.
you can't go outside the patio because
Yeah.
you're still surrounded by smoke. There's no way around it. And if you don't smoke, by the way, if you're a smoker, you're like, and if you don't smoke, cigarette smoke it's really hard, right? It's like it makes you nauseous. What we had to do was we just decided, we knew it was going to be like this going in. And by the way, we loved these countries and loved the people. Everyone was lovely. We had a great time. I am not knocking the countries, but the smoke's a drag.
It was the thing.
It was the only thing about it we didn't like. We just had to decide. We said going in, look, if every Thanksgiving we went to Grandma's house and Grandma smoked at the table and she's 86 years old and ain't no one gonna tell her not to, it's her damn house, you just know that Thanksgiving dinner comes with cigarette smoke. That's just the way it works. And so we went into it just basically not trying to fight it, not trying to find restaurants where people weren't smoking or something. No, we just dealt with it. You believe it or not, you actually do get, I was more used to it in 2 weeks than I was at the beginning. You actually kind of get used to it. I'm not saying it turns into complete like white noise, background noise, whatever, but yeah, you get used to it, but it's still always there. But they crush it on the food because you order a plate of food and it's like 7 different types of meat on whatever, doesn't matter what you get like 5 or 7 different types of meat on every single plate of food. Tons of meat, and everything, there's balsamic vinegar on every table. So you make a plate full of vinegar for your bread and you dip in your meat in. It's fantastic. So anyways, that's our little tour of the world. We got a lot more countries to go to. The US has Cane's in Baton Rouge. It has Skyline Chili. It's so good. I know the chili's bad for you. That's why I eat the hot dog to counter it, so I'm eating something healthy too. Don't contradict me on camera. For some reason, she won't eat this. I have no idea. You don't like it, do you?
I don't think I could get it past my nose.
She doesn't think she can get it past your nose. See, you're just one of those food snobs. Look, if you come to Cincinnati, you have to have Skyline Chili. Don't try to buy it in a can and cook it yourself. I swear to God, there's dog food. You open up the can and you smell it and look at it and you pour it out. It's dog food. You'll never be able to eat it. But put the crackers on. But if you're in Cincinnati, you have to have Skyline chili. I love it. To me, this is the food that it's like that. It's like if your mom always made Kraft's macaroni and cheese for you when you were a little kid. It's like, you know it's poison, you know it's garbage, but every time you taste it, it's absolutely delicious because you kind of grew up on it. It's just that food, it's that comfort food that brings back memories. I mean, to me, for all these years on tour, I've always had Skyline chili in Cincinnati. I love the people in Cincinnati. This reminds me of being in this part of the country. I'll always eat it. I know it's poison. I don't care. So is raw chicken, I'm probably right. Potentially.
If it's not handled by a Japanese person.
Holy cow, this is a really long video, well, of me eating Skyline chili, but I don't care. Hope y'all enjoyed. Now I'm going to turn it off full because I've only eaten about 20% of it. I've been talking the whole time. All right, thanks everyone.